watching an interview that was conducted by the Reentry Project. If you have any questions concerning this project or any of the other services that we provide, please feel free to contact us at thereentryproject.com. I was incarcerated myself in the early 90s. That's a long time ago. Your story is a little bit different. Even your transition back is a lot different than some folks that I've seen in the past. How did you come to arriving at the Dorcas home?
Well,
And maybe, excuse me, and maybe let's take it from the beginning. How many times have you been incarcerated, actually?
wow, I've been incarcerated. Went to the penitentiary twice. Once in New York, and then once down here in Virginia. In New York, it's totally different because you have an unsure amount of help as far as, getting out and being back into society and working. They give you jobs. They find you jobs.
Okay.
I thought the same when I first got out in Virginia. I thought that's what was going to happen, but I had to find my own way. However, when I was incarcerated in Virginia, what I did was write continuously to halfway houses.
Okay.
I mean, I was getting no's for about a year. No, we can't accept you. 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 So I was down to the wire, and I'm still looking, and then I heard of Dorcas House. So I wrote to Dorcas House, and I got a response back.
Just to kind of go back a little bit about to where you had gotten the notification. Now, how many days left did you have before you were kind of notified that you would be accepted at the Dorcas home?
2 weeks.
So you were down to your last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks.
Now, did they tell you what the next options would be if you were not accepted?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And that would have been Salvation Army.
Salvation Army back in the Tidewater area?
No, here.
Okay, so if you weren't accepted at the Dorcas home, they were going to still send you to Roanoke?
They were going to send me to Roanoke so that once housing was opened up at the Dorcas home, I could transfer there.
Then you could transfer there.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if that didn't come about, then they were going to send me back to Tidewater.
Okay. And I think, and since I was at that present point in time, I was the director at the Dorcas home.
Absolutely.
And I think what I had done was, in talking to your counselor, I had informed your counselor that the bed space was not available at one time.
Exactly.
And then what had happened is in that 2 week period of time, that space became available before you left, and then we kind of pulled you in on the right time.
Exactly.
I think that's, because now that I think about it, that's what happened.
exactly what happened.
Okay. But other than that, you would have had to come to Roanoke, stay at the Salvation Army, and then if the Salvation Army, after being housed there, space would have never became available, they would have relocated you again back to Tidewater with no family.
No one there, nothing.
No friends, no anyone.
Nothing.
And you would have basically been starting off right out the gate by yourself, figuring it all out.
And that would have been pretty problematic, because when you start out with nothing, a lot of times it's hard. Programs nowadays should have a reentry for family members just as well as anything else. Reentry into society, and family is a part of society. So they should have a program set up like that for you before you get out of jail.
So you're saying the more contact that you can have with your loved ones before you come home, the better it will help in your transition back to society.
Absolutely. It brings about more stability within yourself and more sureness also.
Yes.
Because if you know you have your family back and you're coming home, that brings about a stable mind. Yeah. And being that stable mind comes out into society, it doesn't state go back and do what you've been doing to become that made you become incarcerated. It says come out and do right because your family is behind you 110%.